How about the disadvantages? What are some things that consignors should watch out for?
I think, like with anything, there's always going to be some downsides, right? So, of course, there are some things to look out for, higher fees and stuff like that. Well, I shouldn't say fees, but lower profit margins, essentially, right?
Like the 20-60%?
Exactly, right? So when you're selling something wholesale, you tend to make a bit more profit, obviously, because the consignee is going to be taking on a lot of the expenses that you would normally be paying if you were selling these things in more traditional routes, right? So they're going to get a lot more of the profit then because they're taking on the risk and all of that stuff, right?
So upfront business costs that we talked about.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, I think you should think of it maybe when you're selling things on consignment. It's more of like a stepping stone until you can start to sell things wholesale. You can build up. Phase one. Here, like try my products out. How are they doing? If they're doing well, you can then transition to start selling wholesale. That way, you can you have more peace of mind. It's a better for you, obviously. And then of course, with money, there's delay in payment, right? When you're selling things as a supplier or wholesaler, you're getting paid right away, which is great. When you're selling on consignment, you only get paid once the thing is actually sold, so you have to kind of just wait it out, right? And then there's also like when you're selling things as a retailer, you get that money immediately. When you're selling things on consignment, while it might be sold, you're not going to get the payment right away, generally
Until
speaking.
the written terms,
yeah,
like
so
a month or...
Exactly. To make things easier, it tends to be like on a cycle. Maybe every month you get paid out a lump sum rather than getting paid for every single purchase that's made.
It would be hard to keep track if it's every sale.
It would be a nightmare. Yeah, total nightmare. So yeah, it's okay, but it's not great for as far as cash flow is concerned, right? So you can spend money that you have to just kind of wait. So it's a little more budgeting involved, of course. And then there's like being distanced from your customers, which is a big one, like if you're not selling products yourself, you don't really have all the same insights and data that you would get when you're selling them on consignment. And that kind of goes through the retailer, and you'll get some insights, hopefully, if you have a good relationship, and you should if you're selling on consignment, but you're not going to have, it's not going to be as a free flow of data and information.
You don't get to see the customers walk in and like interact with them either. So
exactly, right? And that's a big thing to see like how people are interacting with your products and stuff. So yeah, there is that. There's also like the potential of stock being lost or stolen or damaged and things like that. And as a consignor, most of the time you're probably going to be held liable for that stuff unless it's like written into your agreement that they're liable. And most consignees probably won't be signing that into an agreement because the whole point is that they don't have to be liable for things. They don't own the products, right? So I think for them, it's going to be more difficult to get that into a contract. So there is the potential that you're going to potentially lose things like that, right? And there's also the difficulty of managing inventory. That's what we're here for, right? We're here for the inventory. Yeah. It's a little subtle slip in there. But we actually, inFlow is great for consignors because it helps you track that. Because oftentimes you're not just going and selling your things through one consignee. You'll be selling your stuff through various different, So yeah, keeping track of who has what, how much of they have, it's a nightmare, right? So if you're using things like inFlow, for example, technology. You can actually track multiple different locations, see who has what, how much of that thing they need, can set reorder points so when they dip beyond a certain level, you'll get notified get more of the things, get more of the things that you're consigning for sure. So, that's a great one. There's also, you have a loss of control of how your products are sold. And that is actually really important. It's something that we overlook, but like where your products are located in the store, how they're displayed, what products are displayed next to them. All these things can factor in to how well it sells, right? And when you don't have control over that, things potentially might not sell as well as they could. And there is also something to think about is consignors probably aren't as, motivated to sell your products as you are, right? So they're not going to really worry about marketing it and everything because to them, there's no risk involved. They can just give them. They
care more about their products. They get more money.
They're going to get more money for theirs. Exactly. That's well put. So they're probably going to try and upsell their own products and be like, hey, that one's okay, but this one, there is the risk of that. So yeah, it gives you less control over that. So that's a big con for sure.